The icy wind howled through the quiet suburban streets like an angry, hungry beast. Snow fell heavily in thick white sheets, covering cars, rooftops, and roads in a deadly blanket of cold. The temperature had dropped to -12 degrees Celsius, and every breath turned into visible mist that froze instantly. No one in this peaceful, upscale neighborhood of Oakwood Heights could have imagined the heartless, shocking drama that was about to unfold on this brutal winter night. What started as a simple eviction would soon become a story of cruelty, courage, and justice that the entire country would talk about for years. Deep inside a grand, luxurious mansion that looked more like a palace, Mr. Richard Harrington and his wife Victoria sat comfortably on their expensive leather sofas. A massive stone fireplace roared with warmth, casting golden light across Persian rugs, crystal chandeliers, and original oil paintings worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Richard, a 52-year-old real estate tycoon, sipped aged French wine from a crystal glass while checking stock prices on his phone. Victoria, dressed in a silk robe, scrolled through social media, liking posts about her latest luxury vacation. They were rich beyond imagination: private jets, multiple holiday homes, and bank accounts that most people could never dream of. But their hearts were colder than the snow outside. For them, money was the only language that mattered. Kindness, empathy, and human suffering were weaknesses they had no time for. Just beyond the tall iron gates of their property stood a modest, rented house, small, simple, but once full of love. This was the home of the Thompson family. Mike Thompson, 38 years old, had always been a hard-working man. A construction supervisor by profession, he had provided for his family with pride until a terrible accident at a building site 6 months ago crushed his leg. The surgery, hospital bills, and long recovery drained their savings completely. His wife Sarah, a 35-year-old former school teacher, had taken up part-time cleaning jobs to keep food on the table. Their children, 7-year-old Emma and 5-year-old Jack, were innocent souls who still believed the world was a kind place. For the last 3 months, the Thompsons had struggled to pay rent. They had begged the Harringtons for just a little more time, promising to catch up as soon as Mike could walk properly again. But tonight, patience ran out. "Enough is enough," Richard Harrington shouted, slamming his wine glass on the marble table. "Those pathetic tenants are lowering the value of our entire neighborhood. I want them gone tonight. No more excuses." Victoria smiled with cruel satisfaction and picked up the phone. "Call the security team. Tell them to throw everything out, and make sure the family leaves with nothing." At exactly 10 p.m., the nightmare began for the Thompsons. Loud, aggressive banging on the front door shattered the silence. Before Mike could even reach it, 3 large, muscular security guards burst into the house using their master key. "You have exactly 10 minutes to get out," the head guard barked. "This property is being repossessed by the owners." Sarah's face turned pale with terror. She was in her old nightgown, holding baby Jack, who had woken up crying. "Please." "Sir, it's freezing outside. We have small children. Give us until morning. We'll leave peacefully, I swear." Her voice cracked with desperation. The guards didn't care. They started throwing clothes, toys, old furniture, and kitchen utensils out into the snow. Mike, still limping from his injury, tried to stop them but was pushed aside roughly. Emma and Jack screamed in fear as the cold air rushed into their warm home. Within minutes, the family was dragged outside. The heavy wooden door slammed shut behind them with a final, cruel bang. Now the Thompson family stood on the snow-covered sidewalk with nothing but a thin blanket and a few plastic bags of clothes. The wind cut through them like knives. Mike held Jack tightly against his chest, trying to shield the boy with his own body. Sarah wrapped Emma in her arms, rocking her gently. Tears streamed down their faces but froze before they could fall. "Mommy, I'm so cold," Emma whispered, her small voice trembling. "My hands hurt." Sarah could barely speak. She felt like the worst mother in the world. Mike's eyes burned with anger and shame. He had always protected his family, but tonight, he felt completely powerless. The snow kept falling, piling up on their heads and shoulders. Every minute felt like an hour in hell. From the second-floor window of their warm mansion, Richard and Victoria watched the entire scene like it was entertainment. Richard laughed loudly. "Look at them. Pathetic. That will teach these low-life people not to mess with us." Victoria took a sip of wine and said, "They should have thought twice before being poor." Then they closed the curtains, turned on their 85-inch TV, and enjoyed a romantic movie, completely forgetting about the dying family just meters away. Miles away from Oakwood Heights, a powerful black Ford pickup truck fought through the heavy snowstorm on the highway. Behind the wheel sat former Navy SEAL Commander Alex Rivera, 41 years old, a man built like a mountain, broad shoulders, sharp jaw, and eyes that had seen too much war. Next to him sat his loyal Belgian Malinois partner Max, a highly trained, military working dog with shiny black and tan fur, intelligent eyes, and a heart full of courage. Alex had served 18 years in the Navy SEALs. He had completed countless dangerous missions in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other hot spots. After retiring 2 years ago, he now traveled across the country, helping veterans, training dogs, and living a quiet but meaningful life. Max had been with him through everything, detecting bombs, saving lives, and being his best friend. They had just finished a long drive from another state where Alex had helped a fellow veteran. The snow made driving difficult, but Alex was used to worse conditions. Suddenly, as they entered Oakwood Heights, his sharp military eyes caught something strange on the sidewalk. "What the hell?" Alex muttered, slowing down the truck. Max's ears shot up straight. The dog sensed danger immediately and let out a low, concerned whine. Alex pulled over and parked his big truck directly in front of the Harrington mansion. The powerful LED headlights flooded the entire sidewalk with bright white light, illuminating the shivering family like a spotlight on a stage. He stepped out of the truck, tall, strong, and wearing his old SEAL jacket with the trident emblem still proudly displayed. Max jumped down gracefully beside him, muscles tense, ready for action. Sarah looked up first. At first she felt fear. Another big man coming to trouble them. But when she saw Alex's kind yet firm face and Max's gentle approach, a tiny spark of hope appeared in her exhausted eyes. Alex walked straight to them with confident, purposeful steps. "Ma'am, sir, are you okay? What happened here?" His voice was calm, deep, and full of authority. Mike, teeth chattering, explained everything in broken sentences. He told Alex about the accident, the lost job, the unpaid rent, and how the rich owners threw them out into the deadly cold without any warning. Alex's face hardened like stone. Anger burned in his eyes, the same anger he felt when he saw injustice during his military days. Without wasting another second, he opened the back door of his truck and pulled out thick thermal blankets, emergency hot packs, a thermos full of hot chocolate, and high-energy food bars from his well-stocked survival kit. "Wrap the children first," he ordered in a firm but gentle tone. He removed his own heavy jacket and placed it around Emma and Jack. Max, understanding the situation perfectly, lay down right beside the kids, pressing his warm body against them and sharing his heat. The children slowly stopped shivering as they hugged the brave dog. Inside the mansion, Richard noticed the bright lights outside. "Who the hell dares to park right in front of my house?" he shouted. He put on his expensive coat and stormed outside with Victoria right behind him. "Move your damn truck right now," Richard yelled at Alex. "This is private property. I'll call the police if you don't leave immediately." Alex stood tall, looking Richard straight in the eyes without any fear. "You threw a family with 2 small children out into a snowstorm. Like garbage? In temperatures that can kill?" His voice was low, controlled, and dangerous. The voice of a man who had faced death many times. Victoria crossed her arms arrogantly. "It's our house, our rules. They owed us money. Mind? Your own business, soldier boy." Max stared directly at her and gave a deep, warning growl that made Victoria take 2 steps back in fear. Alex gave a cold smile. "I'm not just a soldier. I'm a Navy SEAL. And tonight, this just became my business. He calmly took out his phone and started recording the entire confrontation in high quality. Richard laughed nervously. You think recording scares me? I have the best lawyers in the state. But his voice was shaking now. While the argument continued, Alex helped the entire Thompson family climb into his warm truck. He turned the heater on full blast. Max sat in the eye, back with Emma and Jack, letting them pet him and even rest their heads on his strong back. For the first time that night, the children felt safe. Alex then called one of his friends, a well-known local news reporter named Lisa Chen. He explained the shocking situation in detail. Within 20 minutes, a news van arrived with a full camera crew. Bright floodlights turned the sidewalk into a live news scene. Richard and Victoria suddenly looked very nervous. Their faces appeared pale under the harsh lights. "This is private property. Turn those cameras off," Richard shouted, but it was too late. Alex stood in front of the camera and told the full story with powerful, clear words. These wealthy people chose pure cruelty over basic human decency. They left 2 innocent children to freeze to death because of a few $1,000s. No child should ever suffer like this because of adult greed. Sarah and Mike also shared their painful story, tears flowing freely now. Neighbors started coming out of their homes, shocked and angry. Some brought more blankets, hot soup, and clothes for the children. The video of the confrontation was already spreading like wildfire on social media. By midnight, 2 police cars arrived. But this time, the officers were not here to harass the homeless family. After hearing the full story and checking the tenant laws, they began questioning Richard and Victoria. It turned out the eviction was completely illegal. No proper notice, no court order, and especially dangerous in extreme weather. The Harringtons could face serious charges. Alex didn't stop at just helping for one night. He contacted several veteran support organizations, local charities, and even some wealthy friends who believed in doing good. By early morning, the Thompsons had a comfortable hotel suite booked and paid for 1 full month. New warm clothes, shoes, and food supplies arrived. Mike received 3 solid job offers from construction companies that respected veterans and people who overcome hardship. The next morning, the news exploded across television, YouTube, and every social media platform. Headlines screamed, "Millionaire," "Couple Evicts family in freezing snow," "Navy SEAL and his hero dog step in." Millions of views poured in. People from all over the country expressed their anger at the Harringtons and sent love and donations to the Thompson family. Richard and Victoria tried to control the damage. They released a fake apology video, but it only made things worse. Their high society friends distanced themselves quickly. Business partners canceled meetings. The once proud mansion now felt like a prison of shame. In the following days, Alex continued helping the family. He took them to doctors for proper checkups. He played with Emma and Jack, teaching them simple survival skills and the importance of kindness. Max became the children's favorite playmate. They threw snowballs for him and hugged him every chance they got. A week later, thanks to thousands of donations from kind-hearted people, the Thompson family moved into a beautiful, safe new home in a better neighborhood. Mike started his new job with good pay and health benefits. Sarah was able to return to teaching part-time. The children went back to school with warm coats and happy smiles. Alex, Rivera, and Max became local legends. The story inspired many to stand up against injustice. Alex often said in interviews, "I didn't do anything special. I just did what any decent human being should do. Real strength is not in fighting wars. It's in protecting the innocent when no one else will." The Thompson family would never forget that freezing, terrifying night. Every year on the anniversary, they invited Alex and Max for dinner. Emma and Jack grew up hearing the story of the brave Navy SEAL who parked his truck right outside and changed their lives forever. In the end, this story proves something powerful. No amount of money can buy warmth when your heart is cold. And sometimes, justice arrives in the form of a strong man and his loyal dog who refuse to look away. One cruel decision by a rich couple had tried to destroy a family, but one brave decision by a Navy SEAL restored faith in humanity. Never underestimate what happens when a Navy SEAL parks right outside, because that's when real change begins.